I'm RK Walker here at NASDAQ Marketsite with an exclusive Financial Buzz interview. Alongside me today is Charlie Regan, CEO of Nerds On Site Inc. Welcome to the show, Charlie.
Thanks very much.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your company and your background?
Well, I'm called the Capability Expansion Orchestrator for Nerds On Site. We're a mobile IT company focused specifically on the SME marketplace and small corporate. We started way back in 1995. We have more than 100,000 clients in North America, and we're growing quickly, and we're very excited about our launch into the States.
And what about your background personally?
Well, I have a few things in my background, but I used to buy my computers, personal computers, from a couple of nerds that worked at Future Shop, which is our big box Best Buy in Canada. Now, I would say after about 3 or 4 months of purchasing, I got to know this one particular fellow, Dave Redicott, well, and trusted him completely. And he started one day with Mr. Regan. We're starting a company called Nerds On Site. I liked the name. So started right away, having cups of coffee, giving them maybe an ounce of advice every now and then. After 6 years, they had a terrific operation in London, Ontario, but not growing. And so I came in and said, I can help. And we did. Within 18 months, we were across Canada, coast to coast. And in a couple of other countries, we had started operations.
And what were your numbers like in Canada after that happened, your revenue?
Oh, well, it went up pretty dramatically. If I recall, it quadrupled within those 18 months.
So what prompted you to want to list on the Canadian Stock Exchange?
We're very focused on the North America marketplace specifically, and America, the largest of all free markets. We're excited to bring our model in the franchise form to the States, where we can set up independent techs as franchisees that can work anywhere. Our franchise is not tied to real estate, so they can work anywhere. And they work in a collegial network of experts, of nerds. So under the brand umbrella, they can provide any and all services, small and medium enterprises and small corporate players as well. So they're very excited to finally be able to branch out with their business and grow quickly.
How about you go into a little more detail about exactly what services you provide?
We'll do everything. We call our managed services Nerd Care. So we cover the gambit, even from data plans and your mobile devices all the way through to your complete network and cloud storage. For one price per month, we cover everything. And if you want a 2-year lease on your equipment, the price is at this point. If you want a 3-year lease, then the price is down at this point. But
now, are you specializing in business, or do you also do personal residential?
Well, we focus on business. 72 to 78% of our revenues are from that space, the SME space. We do, without marketing, not spending $1, we do get residential business, and it actually is part of it helps train up some new nerds fresh out of college. So we're without looking for business in the residential space, we do wind up getting it. But our fixation focus on the business rollout is that SME corporate place.
SME being small
and medium enterprisers.
Small, medium enterprises.
Yeah, the definition of business is pretty boring in the dictionary, but you check out the word enterprise, that articulates the real spirit of the only business demographic that's been growing for the last 30 years in America. That small business player is passionate, driven, and I think they're still 85% of all new jobs. They're the creator of those.
And they're too busy to deal with tech issues.
Well, they have a passion for widgets. And technology is the single largest leverage tool they can bring to the table for not just how they do what they do, but getting in touch with and building relationship with their client base. So they're not experts at that. We have a little bit of expertise, and we're very excited to help them become global players if they so desire, because nowadays it's easy to go from your block to the neighborhood, to the city, the state, and finally the world. It's not a big leap at all nowadays.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about how your American expansion is going and what are you trying to do exactly and how are you going about it?
Sure. We have started with our profile city. Our perfect profile city is 250 to 500,000 people. So we've chosen the 38 fastest growing cities in that profile in America. And what we do is we have Nerdmobile parades. So we've contracted for 200 Beetles, for instance. We brand them, and we have parades of anywhere to 3 to 5 Nerdmobiles at a time, first thing in the morning, and then when people get off work in commercial, industrial, and retail districts. So people can get a sense that there's a new player in town. And it doesn't take long before phones start to ring and new nerd applications start to come in. So at the moment, we've got operations going in a handful of cities in Arizona and a number of cities on the Gulf Coast, as well as a number on the ocean coast of Florida. Those are our first target states. We're about to roll out in North Carolina and in Nevada.
What are your ultimate plans for the United States?
Over the next 4 years, to be in all 50 states. But within the next 24 months, to be in close to 30 states. That's our plan. So we do have an M&A objective as well, where we identify some good, strong, solid regional players, and we have a roll-in program where we can bring them all into under the Nerds on Site umbrella and turn their team into a more leveraged and more, we'll call them neuron-centric player as opposed to just regional.
So everything you do is under the franchise model.
Yes.
Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, we're excited. This is a first for us. All of our other operations have been, up until this point in time, independent contractor. The franchise concept is 7 times more popular in America than business startup is, according to a couple of studies that we read a few years back. So we put it in place, and we've had pretty strong response to it, and we're excited about the ability for us to grow out quickly with some very passionate players. And our second tier is regional developer or area developer. So these would be people who want to buy the rights to a city or a state, and they then, in turn, would become good, solid, by the week, by the day players with their team. They'd be leaders, business development players, rather not them be tech at all, but C-suite players who are looking to help grow the business out and forward.
In the United States, the first competitor that comes to mind would be Geek Squad, and I assume there are some smaller ones.
Yes.
How do you compare to those, and how are you going to beat them?
Well, first and foremost, we have a saying inside our company: competition is good, just not good enough. We're focused clearly and cleanly, resolutely on that SME space. Geek Squad, if you go to their site, geeksquad.com, you'll see that the 9 services that they offer, bundle services, are all in-home, or you bring it to the store, which is good. The market needs this. I've hired Geek Squad to put in a television down at my place in Venice, Florida. But they're not in our space, where we're going out to the business to help leverage their skills, competencies, and their ability to market faster and better. Also, like Tex for Us would be another player that's got a footprint across America, but it's a little bit different because, again, the focus for them is not just on business, and they have about, on their front page, they list 423 or 428 client audits. Our client satisfaction rating, based on 300,000 plus audits, is 96.5%. We're not happy with that. We want to raise it, but we have a bit of a running record on serving and pleasing the clients we work with.
You've also have some major tech partnerships with names like Microsoft, Google, Cisco. Why don't you tell us a little more about those?
Sure. I think everybody in the space has a certified partner status with the major players. We're very fortunate. We work closely with Apple. In fact, we are their exclusive partner for their mobility program rollout across Canada. That means any any operation that's looking to go more mobile with tablet and their phone devices. We're the only company that Apple has partnered with to roll out inside those business environments. For instance, there's a little restaurant I go to at our place down in Venice, Florida. A hole-in-the-wall restaurant with 60-plus seats. It's called Patches. So my wife and I are in there one Sunday after Mass, and we give our order, and the young lady takes out an Apple iPad and puts our order in and goes back into the kitchen. And I remark, boy, you guys are mobile. She said, yeah. I said, how long has that been going on? She looks up, looks back, about 5 years. This is a hole-in-the-wall little restaurant that now has everything going back into their kitchen. The screens, because there's no air conditioning back there, the monitors melted. So now they have right from the iPad to a printout machine in the kitchen. But the food comes out exactly as ordered. And the opportunity to turn operations like that or more sophisticated ones into mobile players is gargantuan. We're very excited about working with Apple to prove that business can, in fact, be paperless if they choose.
With more millennials becoming so comfortable with all the technology, how do you see that affecting your business?
Well, the good news is there's no business demographic that's growing like technology. It's literally pervasive. Everywhere you turn, no matter whether it's an industrious and high net value city like New York, or the smallest communities in rural America, everybody is connected and looking for better connection when it comes to technology. So the market has been growing at ridiculous rates, and our team is very fluid. I mean, when I say this, we're very focused on training and development. So we've got more than 12,000 core curriculum modules available to all our team members to make certain that they're up to speed on what's going on. And inside our company, we've got champion offerings, which are, we never use the words best in class. We call them better in class, because better than what we already have is just around the corner, maybe a day away, a week away, or 2 hours away. So we need to keep people on their toes, always focused on upping the game. And millennials are one of the truly driven population demographics that never have been given their fair due. We're very excited about just how committed and driven they are, and how reasonable and rational and disciplined about their day-to-day focus on their life. It's a different player than baby boomers, right? They are really thinking hard and long about the quality of their life. And so we have a real soft spot in our heart for millennials, welcoming them inside the fold in the family, but also serving and servicing them.
Great, Charlie. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
I'd like to thank our guest, Charlie Regan, CEO of Nerds On Site, Inc. I'm R.K. Walker. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you again next time.